Hello, 97 Rock, who's this?
Hey, it's Adelia from Seether.
How are you doing, my friend? It's great that you've called in. Everybody's getting psyched for the show tonight out at the Benton Franklin Fair in Rodeo.
Absolutely, man. Bring it on.
You guys are all the way from South Africa. Have you played the Columbia Basin before?
Yes, we have. Only one time, though, so it's really good to be back.
How do you feel about the weather out here?
It's actually very nice, yeah. I like it kind of not too crazy desert-type hot, so it was good.
Yeah, you guys are going to see a lot of different scenery. I just took a look at your tour schedule. You guys are all over the place on this tour, which brings me to the new album, Isolate and Medicate. Of course, the new track doing well on the charts right now, Words as Weapons. How are you guys feeling about that new record so far?
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been great, It's always hard to tell what's going to happen when you release a new album, but we've been, I guess, quite pleasantly surprised. Words as Weapons has been doing really well. And I think the overall response to the album's been really good. It's been great. So, man, we're just excited to be back out on the road and playing and playing some new songs, too.
So in spite of already having solidified yourselves as one of the biggest acts in rock as far as touring goes, record sales, charting, you guys have had 11 number ones, 17 top fives. You've sold a lot of records. Do you still feel nervous anytime you put out a new record?
I think so, a little bit. Probably less so than we used to. But there's always pressure, I think. Perhaps pressure that we put ourselves under. We never want to sort of regress. We want to keep moving forward and pushing ourselves and hopefully making music that's better. So, and you don't really know if you've accomplished that until the album comes out and you get to see what people think about it. So it's a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure, but I think we're a little bit more confident now in ourselves. So probably a little bit less so than they used to be.
For the record, I didn't grow up listening to rock and roll music, which is kind of funny that I'm in the position I'm in now. But what was the turning point in my life that set me on this path in life was actually a pastor's kid I grew up with. He was slowly giving me rock and roll, and I came over one day, I think I was 12, and he's like, dude, you're not going to believe this. Just sit down. I don't think we had YouTube back then. He pulled up Seether Remedy, and I remember being blown away. That was revolutionary for me at the time. I think I was even freaked out by the theatrics. That was heavy for me, and ever since then, there's been no looking back. So for me, I just want to say thank you guys for existing. I have a job now thanks to Seether.
That's a great story. Thank you. I'm glad we could be your first. And sounds a little weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, I'm definitely very excited for the show tonight. I haven't had a chance to see you guys yet. I've had a lot of fans come up, as we've been promoting the show and say, yeah, I've seen them before. This show is going to rock. And so, high expectations out here in Tri-Cities.
Well, we'll try to perform, and we'll definitely be doing Remedy. So, you can listen out for that.
You guys have toured extensively throughout the years. I read somewhere that ever since the release of, I think it was the first Disclaimer, that just about nonstop, you guys are one of the hardest working bands in the industry. That being said, do you have any bands that you look up to? You're not going to headline every show. Sometimes you're going to support. So are there any bands you've had the chance to play with that you look up to?
Certainly, yeah. We're not scared to roll up our sleeves and hit the road. And I think that's a big part of why we've had the success that we've had is, getting out there and playing for people. And, I think that's important in this day and age. Yeah, there's a lot of bands that we get to play with that we admire or look up to. Probably the main one for me was when we got to play with Metallica. I've been a huge Metallica fan all my life. And I think for me when I was a kid, hearing Metallica, was that moment where, something inside me changed. And I just really wanted to do that. I wanted to pick up a guitar and learn. So to finally, meet those guys and play with them and play for a huge crowd. And it was, this show in particular was back in South Africa too, so it was kind of a homecoming and my family was there and we got to play with this huge crowd and then I got to see, my heroes perform. It was pretty much an epic day for me. But yeah, there's a lot of bands. We love bands, like Foo Fighters, we're big fans of. I'd say it's a lot of older bands that we sort of grew up with. It's funny, if there's a newer band, you tend to think of them as, I guess, maybe contemporaries instead of, looking at them as a fan. When each time, I get to see Metallica, I'm 12, 13 years old again. So it's this weird thing that happens.
I remember one of the first tours I ever wanted to go on and catch a show. I think it was back in 2008 or 2009. Breaking Benjamin, you guys, and 3 Days Grace. And one of my favorite videos of all time is when Ben's up there trying to do So Cold. Do you remember this?
Was that when we were messing with him on stage?
Yeah. And I think Sean came out as Santa Claus. I could be wrong. There's no good video of it. It's from the audience. I could be wrong, but Gantier's out there playing hockey. Somebody's ice fishing. Ben gets silly stringed. It was great.
That was a really good tour. I don't know. We just we're all good pals, and that's what made the tour so cool. It's always fun to tour with your buddies. And on that tour, everyone got on really well. Everyone, we'd all mess with each other and, do our thing. So that was the last show. And, it's I guess, customary, although we've slowed down on the pranks a bit, but it's kind of customary at the last show, when you're playing with your pals, you got to mess with them a little bit in the last show, pull some pranks. But that's just, I guess that just shows what good buddies we are, that you could walk up on their stage and pretty much ruin the song, but it's okay because you're all pals. You're gonna have a drink afterwards and hang out and stuff. So it was a fun one. We've had a couple of those, but that was definitely a good one.
Well, at the end of the day, you guys are all professionals. You've all done it for years. I mean, if it's not challenging, is it fun?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be fun. If you're not having fun, I feel like you're kind of doing something wrong. Playing's fun, and touring with your buddies is fun, and if that means you have to get up on stage and pull some pranks, and we can take it as well. We don't just dish it out. We have full expectations of retribution when we do something like that. We're like, okay, well now they're coming out, get ready. But it's hilarious, so it makes it fun.
On a heavier note, the last couple of days, we lost a good friend of everybody's, Robin Williams, dying at his own hand. It's got everybody really thinking, about people with depression, people with mental illness, people that are on that part of life. And you guys, actually, that's a very personal note for you guys. Just before the release of Rise Above This, Sean's brother taking his life, but now you guys actually work hand in hand. You guys have Rise Above Fest. You guys just had that in May. That was the second show, and that was to benefit suicide awareness, Voices of Education. Very important work that you guys do. I can say from experience, it's hard to try to explain to people that don't feel that way that you can't help it sometimes. You really need help. You really need somebody to shut up, listen, and help you. What are you guys doing to do your part in helping that fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really big problem. Nobody wants to feel like that or go through those struggles. Yeah, and it's like you said, something that's very near and dear to our hearts. It's also, I guess, something that it's not something that's fun to talk about. So I think a lot of people try and brush it under the rug and hope it goes away. So yeah, we just try to I guess create awareness, and let people know that there are places they can turn, people they can speak to. And with Rise Above Us, it's a great platform for us to, open people's eyes to it. However much, I mean, it's not a massive difference or as big a difference as we would like to make, but I think every bit helps. This last year we managed to raise quite a good chunk of money for a foundation called Save. And they work with in this within this problem of depression, mental illness. A lot of war vets coming back from duties and stuff, and then not knowing how to cope. I mean, it's a problem on many levels. So, and yeah, I mean, hopefully this Robin Williams thing really opens people's eyes as well. I think everyone was very shocked that someone that funny could hurt so much. And the weird way that seems to be the case with a lot of stand-up comics. It almost seems like they need, or that they started, being funny or doing a stand-up thing as a coping mechanism to deal with all those demons. we've lost a lot of great comics, to drugs and things like that. But man, we just want people to think about it, talk about it, and just for people to know that there are people that want to help, and people that you can go to and hopefully get you through the hard time.
You guys have a huge opportunity to help people that really need it, and the best part of that is that you're not alone. You've got your friends Avenged Sevenfold, Hell Yeah, Blackstone Shade, to name a few, helping you guys out with this. That's a really great thing you guys do, this Rise Above Festival, and hoping we'll see another one in the future. Yeah,
we'd like to do it every year if we can. Yeah, and it was great, man. All those bands came out and really showed their support, and I think it's something worth doing and worth talking about, and like I stated as well. So yeah, man, we had a lot of favors, a lot of people favors, a lot of people donate stuff, for the auction and stuff. So yeah, we'd like to continue to do it every year and hopefully grow it, grow the thing and raise some good money and hopefully we can help some people. That'll be great.
Tonight, Seether, the Benton Franklin Fair and Rodeo at 7. Seether's new album, Isolate and Medicate, in stores now. Special thanks to Dale Stewart of Seether for spending some time with us today. If you want more information on Rise Above Fest, riseabovefest.com, or you can visit the band's website, Seether.com. We'll continue the festivities as we get ready for Seether tonight at the fair with the 97 Rock Roadshow. Kurt Cartier playing a full hour of Seether tonight just before the show, so stay tuned. This is 97 Rock.
Seether live with 97 Rock.